Hey everybody, I'm back for another week, and I found the last of the pumpkin jack in the back of the fridge. So I'm going to polish this bad boy off and get rid of it. I'll start this week by what's going on at home. I think my wife is woke. She is changing pronouns. She has changed my pronouns, not her pronouns. For example, when she said, we need to go to the store, we need to clean out the car, somebody needs to take out the garbage, somebody needs to pick up dinner, somebody needs to go to the food store. Do you know who somebody and we is all the time? Me. She has changed my pronouns, and I am very much against it. As I said before, I want my pronouns to be I. You tried out of the conversation. But apparently now, my pronouns are somebody and we. So there you go. If they could be they, them, I suppose they could be we and somebody. Just say it. Then we're putting up the Christmas tree the other day, and we get to the ornament that says number one dad, and one of the squirrels looked at me and he said, you're about a half. So I got that going for me. Could have said an eighth, but I was a half. Things are crazy. There's a new video game out. It's a video simulator on how to come to terms with a bad breakup. I want to know what angry man or woman is coming up with this simulator. But better yet, who is buying it? Gen Z, are their breakups that bad so far that now they need a simulator online to go through this stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. But they probably have the AI girlfriends to begin with and boyfriends to begin with, or theys and thems to begin with right now, so maybe the simulator will work for them. Wouldn't work for me. I prefer the drowning my sorrows in a bottle of whiskey. That's always worked. Not always well, but it's always worked. News the other day, the FBI arrested 17 Jewish rabbis, which I found odd because I thought rabbis were Jewish. Why would they make that accentuation? Is there another type of rabbi that I don't know? I don't know what they arrested him for, but 17 of those guys wearing the yarmulkes and the big curls, they all went down. They were herding them off like sheep to the slaughter, I'll tell you that. Must have been very smelly. Oh, because, I don't know, get those locks. It's a smelly thing out there. Then, equity. I have to talk about equity. Man, person of color, goes into a local store with a gun, and the clerk shoots the would-be robber dead. Shoots him dead, 2-3 bullets, boom, boom, boom. Was a video, the whole thing, shot him dead. And now the family is suing because they want equity. They want justice. Why do they want justice? Not because he's a person of color, because the person who shot him was a person of color. They want justice and equity because there was a no-gun policy in the store. Can you imagine that? No gun policy. Armed robber comes in, gets shot with another gun, and the family's suing for a no gun policy. I mean, you can't make real life up. You just can't make it up. You can't make it up, man. Can't make it up. Like, reading through the newspaper last week, and here where we live, there's a 48-year-old teacher. He got caught and admitted to having sex with a minor, and they gave him 3 years probation. 3 years probation. How about you chain him to a fence and give the father a bat and give the father 3 minutes? That's better than the 3 years. Mind you, the same man is under investigation for another one. Doesn't even have to register for a sex offender. What is going on with our justice system? What is going on? You only hear about the male to female, but when you see the female to male teacher, why are females always very good looking? I mean, just for my own personal self-esteem, I like it to be some big fat sack, some 300-pound cow who's ugly, because then it makes me think, where were these female teachers when I was a kid? Moral of the story, if you're a female teacher, don't have sex with young boys because they're going to tell all their friends. You're like a trophy. They're happy about it. They're not crying rape. They're crying whoopee. Still wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong. I'm not making a joke about it. Rape is bad. Rape is bad. Speaking of rape, America's funniest rapist is back at it. He was accused by another woman. And he said, of course, I didn't do it. So the 3,975 million women who've accused him, they're all wrong. So believe all women except the ones that accuse Bill. So maybe we need a little equity there. How about we believe the ones because they can't all be lying. Some of them got to be telling the truth. Some of them got to be telling the truth. Then we have the mayor of Chicago, Democrat mayor of Chicago. Democrats mayor of Chicago. Chicago's like a rat-infested hole right now, apparently. Killings everywhere, illegals everywhere. He's very concerned because the Republicans have ruined his city. They are not giving them the help they need for these illegal immigrants. They're not giving the help. And he's very concerned that the cold temperatures are going to kill these illegals. I got a great idea. You know where it's not cold? Where they came from. Send them right back. Problem solved. How about you don't look for more money for it, because all that money's going to Ukraine anyway. But send it back. Put them on a plane, put them on a bus, send them back. Send them back to the border and go south, young man, go south. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me at all, these northern cities. Got an email the other day that I should be trying a meatless holiday meal this year for Christmas. Make your sides the star. Well, wouldn't those sides be the star? I'm just going to pass on this one and enjoy my meat for Christmas. You should enjoy yours too. Maybe a big ham, a lasagna with sausage, some meatball and spaghetti. I don't know what you eat, a big roast beef. I don't know. Whatever you want to eat. Sirloin. Go meat or go home, brother. Next thing you know, to be taking my whiskey away. But we already talked about that. Big Joe's keeping it low these days. There's a lot going on. Apparently his ratings are sinking everywhere as Trump's ratings continue to rise. But we can't believe any of this. They're all clowns. Both sides. There's a bill right now going out, $106 billion, to continue funding these wars in foreign countries. Not things here in the United States. Listen, I could use $1 billion to fix the potholes all around Long Island on every expressway, because every time you run over one, it's ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. We don't have money to fix potholes. We have $106 billion to give all of these countries having war in other areas. I mean, it's not like the war's right here. Let's be real here. It's tax season come up, and I said it last year. I'm going to say it again. Every time tax season comes up, these big bills pass out. Just write your checks to Zelensky. Write your checks to Hamas. Write your checks to Israel. Write your checks wherever it needs to go. But you know who's not getting your checks? The United States. That's on Joe Biden. That's on the Democrats. And I still cannot believe any person of Jewish heritage would vote for a Democrat. It's beyond me. I don't understand. Now the new thing is Hamas. So they treated their victims and they treated their prisoners very humanely. Have you seen the pictures of what they did to women, parading them around in cars? Has anybody seen this after the assault and other things? Was it humane rape and killing? I mean, please. Call me a dummy. My wife does all the time. But I'm just saying, I don't understand any of this. You know, we talk about courage with women all the time, and I got a courageous woman. They had the Northeast Pool, or billiards championship. And the women's bracket was a woman and a trans woman. So the woman, the one real woman who doesn't have the penis, she won her bracket. She gets to the finals. And apparently I don't know much about pool. You hit the cue ball, the closest one after the bounce, however it goes first. The real woman won. She put her stick down. She shook the director's hand. She goes, I'm not playing this guy. This is a guy. I only play women. And she walked off and forfeited the first place prize. You're not going to hear about this because it's not woke. But you know what this is? This is real courage and real bravery. And until women step up and decide that they're not going to compete against women with penises, this is going to continue to happen. They're going to ruin sports, ruin women's sports, and they're already halfway there. People are nuts. We had protesters out in Wisconsin on a guy's farm, and he wouldn't leave. He was a dairy farmer, and they were protesting how he treats the cows inhumanely. So what this guy did, after the police wouldn't do anything, couldn't get him off, they were chaining themselves to the fence, he took out this big spraying tank on the back of a truck that was a manure spray, and he sprayed them down with liquid manure. I'd like to send that guy a Christmas gift. Guy is a genius. He should have just kept spraying him. He made like 2 or 3 turns. I hope that thing was empty and they had to sit there in those shades all night and all day. Too bad it wasn't the middle of the summer. It was about 1,000 degrees. Unbelievable. Now, one little piece of advice from Angry Mac. Here we go. Dear Angry Mac, I'm 39 years old and I have 3 younger brothers. One of them's engaged and he's living with his fiancée. He is a 37-year-old doctor. She is 24 years old and she is a teacher who gets off summers. She is a small, petite woman who is younger and looks great. I feel he just wanted a Stepford wife and he is punishing the rest of the family for taking a young wife. Yes, I am resentful, and he just picked her because she is a trophy. All she wants to do is take care of things and stay home, and she organizes everything. Once again, she is taking over our roles, and my brother really doesn't know what he's getting into. How can I handle this? How can you handle this? Just say thank you. Let your brother be with whoever he wants. The guy's a doctor. Now you're going to shame him for marrying somebody younger? My guess is you're the big fat sack. You're not happy with yourself. Why don't you get yourself a little action, have yourself a drink, and leave the guy alone? You don't want to talk to him? Don't talk to him. Don't go over on Christmas. Leave him alone. You're fat. You're skinny shaming, you're good looking shaming, and you're youth shaming. You, young lady, are a bad human being. Now listen, go find somebody you love. Tell him you love him because tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know who's going to be tomorrow. I'm hoping I am. I'm planning on it. Christmas is coming up. Got a lot of Christmas stuff going on. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you next week.